Let's say you meet a girl off Tinder and she lives a half an hour away. Let me test you with a quick question. Do you think it's better that she drives down to you or you drive out to her? That's right, you're a smart motherfucker. The answer, of course, is that she drives out to you. Why is that? Because every single minute that she's in her car driving out to you, what's she doing? She's putting forth effort, and she has to justify to herself why she's putting forth that effort. The reason, of course, is because she likes you more than she might have liked you before she got in her car and drove down there. If you could get her to comply, thus getting her into what I call the string of yeses, she will get cognitive dissonance, convincing herself that she likes you more than she might actually like you.
The Unapologetic Man Podcast.
All right, gentlemen, today we're going to talk about a concept called the string of yeses and how to weaponize what's called cognitive dissonance. So cognitive dissonance, some of you may have heard before, is a psychological term that basically says you will change your opinion about something based on your actions around that thing. We will always change our attitudes to justify our actions, and most times our actions create our attitudes rather than the other way around. So, for example, if you have a belief system that says that you're terrible with women, and one night you get lucky, and I hate that term, get lucky, because it demonstrates that she's the prize and we're not the prize. But let's say one night you get lucky, you will have to remap your belief systems inside your head that, hey, maybe I'm not as bad with women as I thought I was. Maybe I do have potential. So if you believe that you're a girl magnet, you're going to behave differently. Your voice will be different. You'll carry yourself differently. You'll speak to her like you are a girl magnet, and then the results will manifest out of it. So this concept of cognitive dissonance is so important when attracting women that I teach it to a very deep level in my 3-month coaching program. We want to shape behavior. We want to get her into a string of yeses, and we want to, quote unquote, weaponize cognitive dissonance, getting her to shape her attitudes to comply with what we want and even to like us more. Here's another example. Let's say you meet a girl off Tinder and she lives a half an hour away. Let me test you with a quick question. Do you think it's better that she drives down to you or you drive out to her? That's right, you're a smart motherfucker. The answer, of course, is that she drives out to you. Why is that? Because every single minute that she's in her car driving out to you, what's she doing? She's putting forth effort, and she has to justify to herself why she's putting forth that effort. The reason, of course, is because she likes you more than she might have liked you before she got in her car and drove down there. But if you could get a girl to comply in any way whatsoever, whether it's driving to you on a Tinder date for half an hour, whether it's making you dinner, or even something as simple as, hey, could you tap that guy on the shoulder right there? I need to tell him something. If you could get her to comply, thus getting her into what I call the string of yeses, she will get cognitive dissonance, convincing herself that she likes you more than she might actually like you. Now, going back to the Tinder example, I know a lot of you guys were thinking this. What if she doesn't want to drive down there and she completely refuses? Can I drive up to her location? Yes, you can. But what you should always do is make it seem like you're going to be up there anyway. Let's say you live in Denver and she lives in Fort Collins, which is an hour away. And you really want to see this chick because she's a bona fide dime piece and her meat curtain is the curtains to heaven itself. So you're justifying to yourself, well, how do I do it? The problem with most guys is that they will comply to women's demands because their dick is so dry it's going to audition for the next movie of Dune. So they will go drive that 1-hour drive without properly explaining to her why they're doing it. You have to justify doing it. And what I always do is I say, I'm going to be up there anyway. So while I'm picking up that XYZ thing for my friend, let's go ahead and hang out. You never want to show a woman that you are willing to bend over backwards just to hang out with her because it shows low value. It shows you have few options. It shows low survivability, which of course is unattractive to women. If, on the other hand, you could get her to meet you halfway, or better yet, drive all the way down to you, even better. I recorded a podcast maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, which was titled, Why You Should Get Women to Cook for You. Guys, if a woman cooks for you, you're probably getting laid. Why is that? Cognitive dissonance. She's putting in effort. She's really working hard to make you some dinner. So the whole time she's convincing herself, I really like this dude. So if you could convince a girl to cook for you, it's really powerful. And I'd usually suggest doing it around the second or third date. So you guys go on 2 dates. The first 2 dates, say, for example, you plan, you execute. Then on the second date, you're like, hey, you know what? Do you cook? Because I absolutely love home cooking. What can you cook? And she's like, yeah, I actually make a pretty good lasagna. You'd be like, are you serious? I love lasagna. Do you seriously make that? Is it good? And she's like, yeah, it's really good. You'd be like, dude, you have to make that for me. What are you doing this weekend? And she's like, I don't have any plans. You'd be like, all right, you make the lasagna. I'll bring the dessert. Since it's lasagna, I'll bring tiramisu and we will have a dinner. How's that sound? And she's like, okay, that sounds good. Dude, every minute she's cooking for you, cognitive dissonance. And we can even say you've weaponized that because you've put her in a situation where she's working for you. And this goes into the string of yeses. The more compliance you can get, the more you can get her saying yes to anything, the more chances you have of finally getting that dry as a bone, red helmeted warrior in your pants into her squish mitten. What's up, brother? Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. To watch the full podcast episode, click here. And before you go, if you're feeling extra generous, please like, comment, subscribe. It really helps me in the algorithm. I'd sincerely appreciate it. Unapologetic Army.